Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to cut through the noise, get you the insights you need.
And today, we're tackling Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League.
Right. We've looked at the reviews, the retrospectives, all from this year, 2025. And the big question is, well, is it a stylish disaster?
Or maybe a misunderstood gem, especially now with some distance.
It's a fascinating one. You've got Rocksteady.
Yeah, the Rocksteady, right? The studio behind the Batman Arkham series. Just legendary status.
Exactly. So this game launches, massive hype, and then, well...
Controversy, big financial problems, just a real roller coaster.
But even with all that, some people genuinely like it, still play it.
They do. So, yeah, let's unpack this journey. It says a lot about where gaming is, you know?
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. High hopes, where did they come from? You mentioned Rocksteady.
That's the huge one, obviously. The Arkham games. They weren't just good superhero games, they were genre-defining.
So the expectation was sky high for whatever they did next.
Absolutely. And then the concept itself was, well, bold is one word for it.
Definitely attention-grabbing.
Yeah. You're in Metropolis, it's semi-open world, total chaos, Brainiac's taken over.
And the twist.
The big one. He's brainwashed the Justice League. Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, even Batman.
Wow.
And your job as Task Force X, the Suicide Squad is.
Kill the Justice League. It's right there in the title.
It really is. Talk about flipping the script.
Playing as the villains. That's a choice. How did the characters feel? Task Force X.
Well, that was key to the whole chaotic fun idea they were going for.
Yeah.
You had 4 options.
Right, Harley Quinn.
Yep. Acrobatics, pure energy, then Deadshot, the sniper guy with the jetpack,
King Shark.
your big tank, brute force.
Yep.
And Captain Boomerang, super fast with that teleport thing.
So each one played differently.
Totally. The whole design was meant to be fast, over the top, really leaning into team play. That was the intention anyway.
Okay, intention versus reality. Where did the game actually deliver? Where did it shine according to the sources we looked at?
Visually, for sure. That's something almost everyone agrees on.
Stunning visuals.
Oh yeah. Especially the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Really top-tier cinematic direction in those story moments.
And the world itself, Metropolis.
Vibrant, massive, loads of verticality, which was great for movement. It felt alive. You know, neon lights, the alien corruption spreading, all that superhero destruction. It looked the part.
Character models, too.
Really well rendered, well animated, just visually polished.
And complementing the visuals.
Yeah.
The audio.
That's probably one of its most consistent strengths, actually.
How so?
Well, the music's great. Shifts from these, like, chaotic battle tracks to more ambient stuff really well.
So voice acting. The characters.
Fantastic. Each character sounds unique, loads of personality. The actual audio cues and fights are helpful, but also kind of witty sometimes.
What about the banter? We hear that mentioned a lot.
Oh, it's constant and often genuinely funny. It really adds this layer of character and fun to the whole thing.
Okay, so visuals.check, audio.check. What about the core gameplay? The shooting, the moving around.
That's another area where it scored points. The actual combat and traversal, really strong.
Fast, fluid.
Exactly. Flashy movement, flashy gunplay. The shooting feels responsive, satisfying.
And you mentioned the unique characters. Did that carry through to gameplay?
It really did. Each one feels distinct. And getting around Metropolis, using their specific abilities, Harley's grapple, Deadshot's jetpack, that part was just fun. A blast, really.
So all that good stuff. But it's built on a specific kind of game structure, right? What was the core loop?
At its heart, yeah, it's a third-person shooter. But with heavy looter shooter elements.
Meaning
You're always chasing better gear. Random drops, stats, powering up your characters.
Yeah.
The loop is missions, fight waves of enemies, hit a boss, get loot, repeat.
within destructible environments you mentioned.
Right, which adds to the chaos.
Okay, so core combat good, visuals good, audio good. Where did the cracks start to show? What was the Achilles heel?
That gameplay loop, the one we just described.
It got all...
Unfortunately, yeah. Sources say it got repetitive, fast. The mission types were often just kill this, go there, defend this, kill, move, repeat.
So not enough variety.
Exactly. The problem wasn't just the loop itself. Lots of games have loops. It's that this loop, for a game designed to be played for potentially hundreds of hours as a live service, it just didn't hold up for many people beyond the first few hours.
And it was heavily pushed as a co-op game, right?
Yeah.
How did that loop affect playing with others versus playing solo?
Well, playing with friends definitely helped. It made the chaos more fun, the banter more real.
That's solo.
You could play solo, yeah, with AI bots filling in. Yeah. But the feedback was pretty consistent. It felt less dynamic, kind of a weak single-player experience, almost like it wasn't the main focus.
Which brings us to the elephant in the room, the live service model.
The big one.
Yeah.
This became a major sticking point.
So you had all the usual live service stuff, skill trees, gear.
Yep. Gear upgrades, cosmetics, randomized loot drops, color-coded rarity.
Yeah.
The whole 9 yards. Very grind-heavy.
And they had plans for more, right? Seasons, battle passes.
That was the roadmap, absolutely. But looking back now, in 2025,
It didn't pan out.
not really. The consensus is that those live service elements just felt tacked on, kind of shallow.
And the progression, the grind.
When the core missions already felt repetitive, chasing slightly better gear just started to feel artificial, unrewarding for a lot of players.
And the ultimate fate of that live service plan.
Abandoned. It's basically considered outdated tech now for this game. No major DLC, no story expansions came or are expected. Support officially ended early 2025.
Ooh.
Yeah, it really stands as this cautionary tale, a big one for the whole live service genre. Even a studio like Rocksteady couldn't make it stick here.
Okay, let's shift to the technical side. Performance, how did it run, say, on consoles, Xbox Series X, PS5?
They were aiming for 60 frames per second and mostly hit it. Yeah, there were reports of occasional stutters, dips during really intense fights. Might bother some people. Apparently, PlayStation had a slight edge in overall smoothness. Pretty quick, which is always good.
And on PC, how did it fare there?
Generally pretty good on modern rigs. Looked sharp, had ray tracing support, decent optimization overall.
So high settings looked nice.
Oh yeah, quite stunning if your PC could handle it. Those initial shader compilation stutters that plagued some launches, they got mostly patched out.
Any caveats for PC?
Mid-tier machines might still struggle a bit in the heaviest combat scenes. And having VRR variable refresh rate on your monitor definitely helps smooth out any of those frame dips.
But were there other technical hiccups, bugs, AI weirdness?
Yes, some sources mention lingering performance bugs even after patches.
Yeah.
And the AI for enemies could be inconsistent sometimes. That can definitely pull you out of the experience.
Right. So putting it all together, the good, the bad, the technical, how did critics and players actually receive it overall?
Reviews were really mixed, all over the place, honestly.
What did critics tend to praise?
Usually the visuals, the character stuff, the personality, the banter, and that core gunplay we talked about.
And the criticisms?
The repetition, the shallow endgame content, and of course that whole live service structure that didn't land.
Which led to a split in the player base, yeah.
Absolutely. A clear divide. You had players who genuinely loved the chaos, the combat, the humor, especially with friends. They call it a fun ride.
And the other side.
They found the grind exhausting, the repetition boring, maybe hit performance issues, and it just felt like a chore.
So definitely not for everyone.
No. And you saw that reflected in things like the mixed Steam rating and, well, the player count dropping off pretty sharply after launch.
And financially, this was not a success story.
Far from it. Despite Rocksteady's name, despite the big marketing push, it just didn't meet sales expectations at all.
How bad was it?
Reports suggest it lost the publisher something like over $200 million.
Wow. Just
Yeah? Solidifies its status is that cautionary tale we mentioned, the risks of the live service model, even with a huge IP and a top developer.
So fast forward to now, 2025. What's the value proposition? If someone's curious, what should they expect to pay? It launched at full price, right?
Yep, around $70 US at launch.
Yeah.
Premium price.
But that didn't last long.
Not at all. Major price drops happen pretty quickly within months.
So advice for you, the listener, if you're thinking about it now.
Wait for a sale, a deep sale, like under $10 easily.
Any specific examples?
On PC, people have seen it go as low as $3 to $5 during big seasonal sales.
Yeah.
Like Steam summer sale, that kind of thing.
And consoles.
Console versions, maybe $10 to $20 during flash deals or in bundles. It's become a real bargain bin staple.
So back to our original question. Stylish disaster, misunderstood gem. Where do we land now?
Well, looking at it through that 2025 lens, the consensus seems to be around maybe a 3.5 out of 5-ish.
Which means?
At full price, forget it, hard pass for most people,
Yeah.
but under $10.
It might be worth a shot.
Yeah, exactly. It offers maybe a decent weekend of co-op fun. If you like fast-paced, kind of brainless action with friends, and you appreciate those core strengths, the combat, the look, the characters, it could be worth that bargain price.
Which really sums up the paradox of this game, doesn't it?
It really does. You have these genuinely impressive parts. The visuals, the feel of the combat, the audio, the character work.
But they were ultimately dragged down by that repetitive structure and the whole live service gamble that just failed and got abandoned.
Yeah. It's a fascinating case study.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the final thought we want to leave people with?
I think the story of Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, really forces us to think about the industry, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, what does this whole situation teach us about that tension? The tension between, a renowned studio's creative vision and the market demands or perceived demands of the live service model.
That's a good question. How does a studio known for single-player narrative epics navigate that?
Exactly. And how might this whole episode influence how we, as players and observers, approach future games, especially from studios we love and respect?
Will we be more skeptical of live service pivots, more appreciative of focused single-player games?
Maybe. It's definitely something worth mulling over as the industry keeps changing.
Ah, Boomerang. You seem uninjured despite your supposedly harrowing battles. Did you not see Harley?
No, I didn't see her through all the, bodies. Hey, House, where'd you disappear to? Ain't got yourself beat up, have ya?
Deadshot song. You ain't got no self-preservation, Quinn. I had to be there. Or alive. Anywho, I'll be there in a Gotham minute.